Welcome back to Elevation Perspective. My name is Mark. Two more big free agents off the board now, with Tanner Scott going to the Dodgers and Anthony Santander heading to the Toronto Blue Jays. Let's break it down. On Sunday morning, January 19th, Tanner Scott and the Los Angeles Dodgers agreed on a 4-year, $72 million contract. In 2024, split between the Marlins and the Padres, Tanner Scott appeared in 72 games. He had a 1.75 ERA, a 1.13 whip, and 84 strikeouts in 72 innings. Scott did have a lot of suitors, but it seemed like the Dodgers were the one team that were willing to go to this extra extent, that extra fourth year for Tanner Scott. I think a lot of teams were rightfully hesitant. He's just 2 years removed in 2022 from having a 4.31 ERA and a 1.61 whip. This is a guy who has a lot of walks. Also, relief pitchers are very volatile year in and year out. I'm sure the Dodgers will do everything they can to maximize this talent. Tanner Scott is an incredibly talented left-handed relief pitcher, just age 30, but 4 years for any relief pitcher is very risky. But on the flip side, Tanner Scott is coming off of 2 straight years pitching in over 70 games to an elite level. So I do see the risk that a lot of teams saw in this player, but the Dodgers are all in. They have all their chips pushed into the middle now. They are in this clear win now period, and this is a move that they probably should make to shore up the back of their bullpen. This is what the projected 2025 bullpen looks like for the Dodgers. I'm not sure if Scott will be the clear closer, if it'll be more of a split role between him, Kopech, Trinan, whoever kind of fits best in for that day for Dave Roberts. But it looks like Tanner Scott, Michael Kopech, Blake Trinan, Evan Phillips, Alex Vesia, Anthony Banda, and Ryan Brazier, a really strong bullpen. And now we get to ask ourselves again, seemingly a daily occurrence whenever the Dodgers make a pretty notable move. Is this good? Is this bad for baseball? Here's Jeff Passan's tweet. When Tanner Scott's deal is made official, the Dodgers luxury tax payroll for 2025 will exceed $375 million. That is about $70 million more than the next highest team, Philadelphia. The Yankees are the only other team with a CBT payroll projected to be over $300 million. This is a very delicate subject amongst baseball fans right now. For all the fans out there saying that your owner could do this too, he's just choosing to be cheap, that is not true. It's fair to an extent. I think a lot of owners out there, especially the bottom tier payroll teams, could be spending more money and making their teams more competitive, but very few teams can be doing what the Dodgers are doing right now. We're talking about the Mets, the Yankees, the Phillies, the Red Sox, a few other the really high-end teams, but it's not very sustainable due to the penalties that you get by being this high up in that luxury tax. It's very, very difficult. The Dodgers are putting themselves in a position that they're going to be really good in the short term for X amount of years, but once this deferred money starts kicking up to them, once this all kind of adds up, they're going to be in a really tough spot. But of course, they're not worried about that right now. If the Dodgers win another 1, 2, 3 World Series championships before all this deferred money starts to hit them, then it was probably all worth it for the Dodgers. I think for the majority of baseball fans, this is very frustrating what the Dodgers are doing right now. I fear that in 2 years when the new CBA is up, we will be looking at some kind of work stoppage based on all this deferred money, everything the Dodgers are doing right now. But with all that being said, right now in the immediate future, the Dodgers bring in another elite talent on their already elite team. Next up here, and what I find to be the more exciting news of the day, Toronto finally gets a player to take their money. Anthony Santander and the Blue Jays are in agreement on a 5-year deal worth over $90 million. All of the details for this contract have not yet been reported. There are some rumors out there that there's an additional 6-year option on this deal. That's why it's a little over $90 million that Ken Rosenthal, Jeff Passan, all the big-time reporters are reporting. There's no exact number just yet, but pretty impressive 5-year deal. Did not see Santander getting that the way this market was shaping up, but it feels like the Blue Jays were kind of just desperate to get a guy and probably went a little bit outside their comfort zone, adding maybe an additional 4th or 5th year to get this done. In 2024, Santander had a really nice contract year, hitting .235 with 44 home runs and an .814 OPS. I think you look at these numbers here, you see he's age 30, you wonder why was it so kind of far-fetched he would get a 5-year deal at age 30 with this kind of power? Well, the power is a little bit inconsistent. He also does not walk, a very low OBP for his career, and he's a poor defender. So he's a pretty one-dimensional player. We've kind of seen the way these one-dimensional power hitters tend to age, especially when they're kind of positionless in Santander's case. He can still play a corner, but he probably profiles best as a DH right now. So I think the Blue Jays will probably mostly play him at DH, maybe a little bit right field, a little bit left field, a little bit of first base. They want to get Vlad over at third, depending on what kind of lineups they want to throw out there. But overall, I think it's a nice addition for the Blue Jays to bring in Santander. The current 2025 projected lineup here for the Toronto Blue Jays looks like George Springer, Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Anthony Santander, Alejandro Kirk, Andres Jimenez, Ernie Clement, Nathan Lukes, and Joey Loperfido. It's certainly a strong 2-3-4 here with Bo, Vlad, and Santander. Springer's definitely getting up there in age, showed serious signs of decline last year, and after Santander, it's pretty rough. I know there's still rumored to be involved with Pete Alonso, maybe Alex Bregman, some other names as well, but I don't really see Santander being a massive game changer for this team. I think they're still probably looking at a mediocre offense with a fourth or fifth place finish in the American League East. On the surface, bringing in Anthony Santander is a very nice addition in the short term for the Toronto Blue Jays, but I continue to question, what is this team's long-term direction? This is a team with a farm system ranked in the bottom five, a team where their two franchise players in Vlad Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette are set to hit the open market after the 2025 season. I'm just not sure if they're going in the right direction, if they know what direction they're going in at all. I think it'd be very hypocritical of me if I got mad at a team for trying. I never want to convey that message. I always get really happy and excited when a fringy team goes out there and makes a big move. But in this situation with the Blue Jays here, I fear that their decision here to kind of go all in and keep their guys and bring in more talent could set back their franchise 5 to 10 years. Vlad Guerrero Jr. can bring you back an absolute haul. That can put your farm system in a much better looking position. Even Bo Bichette could probably bring back a nice prospect or two, but they're going for it this last year as a team. They want to try to, I guess, win the East and go for one more last run. But if they only get a compensation pick for the likes of Vlad and Bo, that's very, very tough for this franchise to swallow. My issues with the Blue Jays aside, this is a very nice pickup bringing in Santander on an affordable contract. This is a guy who will bat for this team, driving a bunch of runs, hit about 240 with 30-plus home runs, very used to the American League East with all of his years in Baltimore. So overall, a nice move for the Blue Jays. Like I said, I just worry about what comes after this. This is a team now with Santander, with maybe one more move and a Pete Alonso, Alex Bregman type of move, could put themselves in a position that they can contend for an American League wildcard spot. You got to remember, the American League is very, very bad right now, so 85 wins might knock you into the playoffs. That's going to do it for me here today. We, of course, covered the likes of Anthony Santander and Tanner Scott with their new respected teams. Hopefully everyone enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching.